In section 2.2, we're going to look at slope and the slope of a line. The slope of a line is just how the line moves from the left to the right. So a positive slope is increasing, so it looks like that. A negative slope goes the opposite way. When the slope equals 0, so a constant, that is going to be a horizontal line. And then a slope as undefined is going to be a vertical line. So with the 0 and the undefined, one of the tricks that I have learned, so you can tell when the slope is 0, because this line is either the top or bottom of a Z for 0. And then the undefined, the vertical line, is the side of a U for undefined. So hopefully that can help some people. That's how I remember it when looking at graphs. All right, the slope gives direction that tells how to move from one point to another point. So you might have heard rise over run, or remember that. So the top is up or down. How many up or down? And then how many left or right to the next point. So let's start at this bottom point. How many up? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 is my rise. I went up 4. And then how many over to the left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So is that going positive 5 or negative 5? So that is negative 5 is my run. So my rise is how many up? So it was 4. And then how many was my run, or how many did I go to the left? Negative 5. So that is my slope. How many up and over to the next point? So slope is also a formula. So you can subtract your y's at the top and then subtract your x's at the bottom. And slope is listed as m. So m is your slope, and subtract your y's at the top and x's at the bottom. Again, the slope is the m in this equation. Y equals mx plus b. That is called the slope-intercept form. So when y is by itself, the number in front of x is the slope. So your m is your slope. And the b is called the y-intercept, which we will get to later on. So that is slope-intercept form. When y is by itself, the number in front of x is your slope. So let's look at the A example. Y is by itself. It's in slope-intercept form. So what number is in front of x? 1/2. So that is my slope. So let's look at B. Y is by itself. So what number is in front of x? 0.3. And that is my slope. M equals 0.3. Now C, is y by itself? No. What's in front of it? A 3. So let's get rid of it. They're connected through multiplication. So what's opposite? Division. So divide 3 all the way across. Whatever you do to one side, you have to go all the way across to keep it even. So the 3's cancel. So bring down your y equals 6 divided by 3 is 2. Bring down your x. And then that becomes negative 1/3. So is y by itself? Yes. So we can find the slope. The number in front of x is your slope. So my slope is positive 2. Now look at D. Is y by itself? No. So I need to get y by itself. So let's move that 2x over to the other side. All you have to do is opposite. bring down that negative 4y equals minus 2x plus 7, because that 7 is positive. And y is still not by itself, so they're connected through multiplication. So do opposite, divide negative 4 all the way across. So y equals, two negatives make a positive, and simplify that fraction. 2 over 4 is a half. Bring down your x, plus 7 over 4, and that cannot be simplified. So y is by itself. So now, what is my slope? The number in front of x, and that is 1/2. So two lines can be parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So parallel lines will have the same exact slope. So looking at that is my lines, the same exact slope. So if you want to look at an equation, so maybe y equals 2x plus 3 is one line, y equals 2x plus 5. And the slopes are the exact same, 2 and 2. So those are parallel lines. So when you graph them, they look like the two lines above. Perpendicular lines, these are going to be opposite and reciprocal slopes. Reciprocal means to flip it. So if we're looking at a graph, they are going to be complete opposites and cross each other. All right, so if we wanted to look at this as a equation, so y equals 3x plus 4. So we might do y equals negative 1/3 x plus 8. So you see the slope, it's opposite and reciprocal, they flipped. And neither means the slopes have no relationship. They're completely different numbers, completely different lines. There's absolutely nothing in common. So this could be y equals x plus 2, y equals 3/4 x plus 7. So looking at the slopes, that's a 1 and a 3/4. They have absolutely nothing in common. So let's look at an example. So we need to determine whether the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So look at your slope. That's how you can tell. Just using that slope number. When y is by itself, the number in front of x is my slope. So this first linear equation, slope is 8/5, and the second one is negative 8/5. Well, they're opposite. One is positive and one is negative, but is one the reciprocal where it's flipped? No. So this answer is neither.